All right, I'm just going to give a quick introduction and then we'll just talk. So my name is Sarah Milligan. I'm with Oklahoma State University Library. Today's date is, oh my gosh, what is today's date? January 19th? Yes, it is January 19th, 2024. That's always the hardest part for me. Right. Any of this, I'm like, what is the date? I am in Okmulgee today. I'm talking to Clarence LeBlanc about his time with the OSU Rodeo at OSU and a career and a life spent in rodeo. I'm here today with Charmaine and Motte, and this will be part of the OSU Rodeo interview series. That's it. Okay, so can we start first with just a little bit of information about, like where you grew up and a little bit about your family, because I think this is extra important for you. But can we start there? You can tell us a little or it's not.
Well, I grew up here in Okmulgee, and my dad and my grandparents, they all rodeo and had horses and cattle and was on a farm all the time working cattle or whatever. And that's kind of where I kind of got addicted to being around horses and cattle. But,
well, tell me a little bit about that. So your family was already, like, how did they get into horses and cattle? Like, give me some more background there.
I don't know.
You don't know? They were just always there. Yeah. Well, so whenever your family was already had horses and cattle that you were around, were they already doing, was it like more of a livestock, or were they already doing like rodeo type things?
No, the rodeo type deal was just on the weekends, but they farmed and raised cattle, and that was how they made their living. And then the rodeo come along on the weekend. They, just every weekend they get together and compete against each other. Mm-hmm. And then eventually they got to the point where there was a lot of people interested in it, and they started having jackpot rodeos on the weekends and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they just got more and more into the rodeo part of it.
Yeah.
And so it went along like that for a long time, and then they started decided to put on a rodeo, and they had their own rodeo. Mm-hmm. And the different communities around here, black communities, would start their clubs, and they'd have a rodeo, and you'd go for like Okmulgee to Clearview to Drumright or Bristow, mm-hmm. to those rodeos, and that's kind of how I got started going.
So your family was traveling to those different black communities and rodeo. Yeah. So do you remember then how that started to change? Because it sounds like that was something that built some momentum when you were growing up. Does that feel right?
Yeah. I really enjoyed going to rodeos as kids. We went and we had a lot of fun, and back then that was the only thing you had to do. That was the big event of the year, just going to the rodeo. And they started the rodeo at Okmulgee. I mean, it was a big deal. It was a small town, but everybody in town went at that time.
Yeah.
And it was once a year, and as kids, we all look forward to it, every year.
Yeah.
And we did that, and I didn't really get serious about rodeo until I went to OSU, and I got on the rodeo team out there and went to a few rodeos, and I really, really liked it, and wanted to do it. But after I got my degree, I went to work in Wichita at Kansas Beach, and then I had a buddy that was rodeoing for a living. I thought that was the coolest thing in the world, And he talked me into taking a leave of absence and going to some rodeos with him. And when I went in to see about taking a leave of absence, they didn't want me to leave. They told me, why don't you just take a couple months? And he said, well, you can even take a couple years, but come back when you get done. He didn't really think I was going to make it, And well, that was the last time I went to work in about 14 years.
You seem really sad about that.
Yeah.
Well, so you were around it. It was exciting as a kid. So tell me about going to OSU. So what was how did that decision come about?
Well, first I went to junior college at Connors, you know, and then I went to OSU. And when I went out to OSU, there was a place where I brought my horse out to OSU, and there's a place where you rope calves all the time, Bud Bramwell's place. And we'd go out there and rope, and some of the guys on the rodeo team realized that I could rope. So they asked me to go to some of those rodeos, and you know, I went and did pretty good. But I only went the last year I was out there, so I only went to about 4 rodeos. But
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, and that's why I kind of really like the idea of rodeoing.
So what you took you had your own horse out of Bud Bramwell's place, and that's where you were stabling it?
Yes.
Was that just the last year that you were there, or did you have it out there the whole time?
No, that was just the last year I was there. I was only out there 2 years.
Okay, right. So because you did Connors and then you did 2 years.
Yeah.
But so how did you meet Bud Bramwell?
I had met him previously at we went to a black rodeo in New Jersey, and he put it on, and I met him back there, you know.
There's a lot I don't understand about how all that happened. So you met Bud in New Jersey, and he was putting on a rodeo in New Jersey, but he was living in Stillwater, and you're from Okmulgee.
Right.
Okay.
See, when he put on the black rodeo in New Jersey, you know, he had to get. There's no black cowboys in New Jersey, very few. So he had to get contestants from all over the country just to get enough black cowboys to. And he came down and recruited guys to come back there to put on this rodeo. And my dad, he roped calves at the time, and we took, back then you traveled in station wagons with a horse trailer behind them, you know, and he took about 4 guys, and me and my brother, and we went up there.
Was that Kenneth?
Yeah.
So did you participate in it, or were you just watching them?
I participated in the event.
Yeah. So this is also, I think, helpful to sort of walk through what the process is, because who in New Jersey convinced Bud Bramwell to put on a rodeo there? Was this something that traveled around? Like how does that work?
You know, it's just a selling deal back there, being a black, you know, it's where he put it on is predominantly black, you know, and people have never seen black cowboys, and I mean, they filled the stadium, you know, it was easy fill, filling the stadiums and stuff. They also had one in Harlem.
Was that around the same time?
Yeah.
Were you there too?
Yeah, I went there too. I was going to school at OSU when I actually went there.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, tell me how that was for you, because had you left Oklahoma?
Yeah. Yeah. It was great for a kid, you know. I mean.
Yeah. Was that the first time you'd been out there?
Yeah, to New York. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I've been out of Okmulgee County much before then.
Yeah.
Tell us about the Grand Marshal at the Harlem Rodeo.
The Grand?
Was it Muhammad Ali?
Yeah, Muhammad Ali was there. Yeah, that was really exciting. And he came out and spent the whole day with us at the arena. The rodeo was on a football field. And I never forget, he had a Rolls Royce convertible. And he let me and a couple other guys take it and drive running the track around the arena, you know. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, I need more information about that. How does that even come about? Did you say, "Hey Muhammad Ali, can I drive a car around the track for you?" Like, here's my keys. Don't.
He's just as everyday as anybody. I mean, he stayed out there, and he even rode the rodeo producer had a pet bull, Burma bull, big old horns, you know. He even got on it and rode him out the buck shoot. He didn't buck, you know. We led him around. He's riding around.
That was amazing.
Yeah,
So when would that have been? The 70s?
yeah.
Yeah. Or early 70s, maybe.
1971.
1971. So did you have any context for that? Like, were they like, "Hey, come out to Harlem and do all these great things," or were they just like, "Get in the car, we're going somewhere"?
Yeah. Well, no, they're just, like Cleo Hearn and Bud Bramwell, they just call us and, "Hey, we're going to do this and it's going to pay this much," you know, and we went forward.
Load up.
How did you meet Cleo?
Cleo was living on Bud Bramwell's place in Stillwater when I went to school at Stillwater.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what made you go to Stillwater? Like, why did you go there after Connors?
Because I wanted to get an animal science degree.
Okay, so you finished your
Yeah.
bachelor's in animal
Yeah.
science. Yeah. And OSU was it the only place to do that really then?
No, it wasn't the only place, but it was close. And
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What was it like for you to live in Stillwater?
Oh, I liked it.
Did you work while you were there?
Yeah, I worked for How to Make Pizza.
And
I
what was that
delivery
like?
driver, right? It was fun. It was a cool job. You know, you could work as many hours as you want or as least hours as you want.
That's pretty awesome.
They had like 40 employees and you could always track. They had a board in the back. You sign up if you wanted to work more hours, or if you wanted off a certain day. People would just trade out, and they didn't care if you worked 2 hours a week or 60.
Yeah.
Did you deliver pizzas?
Yeah. I wouldn't get inside. I didn't know what people did. You know, when they come in after being drinking all night,
Yeah.
I didn't handle that very well, so they got me delivered.
I can see that.
So here's my other question about Stillwater and OSU in the early 70s. And so the rodeo, was it a club or a team then?
It would have been a club.
It was a club. Do you remember much about how it operated while you were there?
No, I don't. I just went to those 4 rodeos.
The 4 rodeos?
Yeah. Alan, my cousin, he'd know because he was on the rodeo committee.
The rodeo committee. Well, I guess that's part of my question too. You probably know more than you think you know. Like it's just in the bits of how things worked. But you know, like, was there from what you could tell, was there support from anywhere on campus for the club, or was it people like Bud Bramwell or like past rodeo people involved in it, you know, that lived in Stillwater who were really keeping it going?
I couldn't tell. I really don't know.
Did you have any money that came in through the club that helped whenever you wanted to do rodeo, or was it all on you?
It was mostly on us, but they did have some sponsors. I think it was an economics teacher that helped out, and a couple others.
Yeah, so you had some faculty that were club sponsors. But you all pretty much had to pay for your entries and pay for your equipment and all that kind of stuff. What about the rest of the people on the club that were there? Was it a very big club?
No, it wasn't very big.
Yeah, would you say?
Probably 2 or 3 in each event.
Yeah.
There were more like calf roping and steer wrestling.
Okay. Did you have barrel racers at that time?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
How'd you all get together and practice? Like, what did it mean to be in a club then?
Well, we didn't all necessarily practice together. The time events, the calf rope was with most of us were at the Bramwell's stables out there. We grew up out there, and we had a time, during the week when we'd all kind of meet up and practice. But, boys, barrel practices, they're in different places, different times practicing.
Yeah.
And we just got together on the weekend when we went, wherever we went to a rodeo.
Yeah. So it was mainly you all kind of made up a schedule to get together and practice on
Yeah.
your own, and then you
Right.
decide what events to go to. How did people find the rodeo club? You said basically they found you.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think that's the case with almost everybody else there, or do you think people came thinking?
At that time, I think that was pretty much the way it worked because, it wasn't, the school wasn't really known for a rodeo team at the time. Like now, everybody knows about it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they had much of a team right then.
Right.
It was just, if it was a club, then you all had to do all the work. I understand.
Yeah.
Well, so you had some sort of sponsor because you would have to
Nobody
have
had scholarships.
Yeah, that's it. There was
Yeah.
no scholarships and no sponsorship or support.
Mm.
If the team had some sort of sponsorship, is that something you think that the coordinating group or the organized, or is that something that you think like the economics professor or like the Bud Bramwells? Where do you think that sponsorship who did the work to get that?
Probably the economic professor. The club members may have went to them. I don't know.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think this is part of what I'm asking. It's like how much of that, how the work got done was easy to understand. Like you could just participate without having to necessarily make it happen,
Right.
which means it was big enough that someone was making it happen so other people could just participate. But small enough to where y'all didn't have any money or university sponsorship, right? Or, like dedicated support. So what kind of rodeos were you all participating in?
Well, we went to college rodeos like Kansas, Manhattan, Kansas.
Were they mostly close, like border,
Huh?
like Texas and Kansas border states, or?
Yeah.
What made you, what kept you in college versus just leaving and going pro?
Oh, at the time, I just didn't really realize that I could do it.
You didn't know your full potential yet?
Well, see, I went, when I went pro, I went pro steer wrestling. I didn't even steer wrestle then.
Oh, you were calf roping at the time?
Yes. And the only reason I started steer wrestling is because at a couple of those college rodeos, one of them I won roping and one I went second in roping. Well, they gave away all around saddle if you were entered in 2 events, but you had to be entered in 2 events, and I wasn't entered in 2 events. So if I entered the steer wrestling and I won the calf roping, at some of them, if nobody else placed in 2 events and you were entered in 2 events, you still won the saddle.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, well, if I entered the steer wrestling, I got a chance to win the saddle.
So who taught you how to steer wrestle?
Cleo Ahern showed me how to get off the horse to catch the steer. And then there was a couple guys out there at Bramwell's steer wrestling, and they let me jump a couple steers off of their horse, and it did pretty good. I mean, well, I got it done. I didn't do pretty good. I got it done. And then I went to the first college rodeo I went to. The next one for the all around. I won the calf roping, and then when I went to run my steer, the hazer run over me and messed my knee up. And I couldn't run the second calf.
Oh, yeah.
So then I had to sit out the rest of the year because my knee was messed up. so I never got to go to any more.
So that was your first entry.
Yeah. And then, then I started steer wrestling after, when I got well, I started my calf, I didn't have a calf horse, he'd gotten so old that I just retired him, and I started steer wrestling one summer, and I really liked it, and the more I done it, the better I got. It just worked out really good, and I was steer wrestling by the time I got to Kansas, working up there.
So you had done some, it started while you were at OSU after
Yeah.
the Bramwells,
Yeah.
and then you just kind of kept up.
Yeah.
Well, the question about why didn't you go pro is another question I had too. So was there a lot of, was like the team or the club at OSU in any way sort of a pipeline to going pro? Were there other?
No, not really, not at the time.
Yeah, so there weren't other people that were riding with you that.
Nobody that was on that team that I know of went pro.
Yeah.
You know, they a lot of them still rodeo amateur, but they never went very much.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like most of them were rodeoing before they came to OSU, and just.
Yeah.
Do you think that's true?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What about, did the NCAA at that point, did you all have to think much about those rules with the college rodeo at that time?
No.
Probably not if you don't know. Yeah. Well, if no one came in and said, here's what we have to do about the NCAA, then they probably didn't have to think
Right.
much about it. Were there any women?
There were some barrel races in the club.
In the club?
Yeah.
Do you remember about how many?
No.
Small enough for you?
So
Remember a few? Just the barrel racers then?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about, since we were talking about you going on this black rodeo circuit and being out at Buzz, were there many black rodeo people on your team?
At OSU?
Uh-huh.
Only Alan Cooksey.
your cousin.
Yeah.
Just you and Alan? Yeah. Was that pretty normal?
Yeah.
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 And when I went pro for years, I mean, we go to 90 to maybe 125 rodeos a year. And the average rodeo, it's usually me and the guy that I was with.
Yeah.
For the first, I don't know, 10 years maybe.
Yeah. Did people give you a hard time?
No. We got back pretty good.
Yeah.
Calvin, the guy that I started going with, you know, he had been going for a while, and everybody knew him. And he was a really good calf roper, and he was an excellent horseman.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody really had a lot of respect for him, and that's kind of how they figured if I was with Calvin, I was all right.
Okay. What about while you were on the college circuit?
Well, like I said, I only went to 4 rodeos, so, you know,
Yeah.
and I always kept to myself. I mean,
Yeah.
I just be able to be my little deal, and that was it.
He was left alone.
Yeah.
If you only went to 4, how many rodeos did that group do in a year? Was it more than 4?
Yeah, it was more than 4.
More than a dozen?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I was just thinking if you all were doing that on the weekends, how that would fit in with the school schedule and travel. How did you get places? Did you have to pay to load up all and transport and everything?
Yeah, well, when I went, this one guy there had a 4-horse trailer, and you know, 4 different guys would get to take their horses in his trailer.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Was it another student that had a trailer?
Huh?
Was it another student that had a trailer? Or
Yeah.
Okay. So someone had to come up there with their own equipment
Right.
to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did your dad feel about you going pro and not doing the animal science thing and doing rodeo?
Well, he was all right with the leave of absence, but he was all right with it. You know, but as long as I had to make it, you know, but no, come back home, don't make it.
To be the best at what you do.
Yeah.
I think that's a good question too, because it seems like you went to OSU to get animal science with were you expecting to come back here and continue to work on the farm, or were you, because you went to Wichita.
Yeah. Well, that deal out there, there was another black guy in my class taking animal science, Chester Holloway, and we were sitting in class one day, we both were in ed science, and the instructor asked a question. He said, "What are you gonna do when you get out of school?" And everybody he asked, they'd say, "Well, I'm going home and I'm gonna run my grandfather's cow-calf operation, and I'm going home and I'm running this ranch and that ranch." And me and Chester started looking at each other. I asked Chester whose ranch he was gonna run. He said, "Man, we're in trouble." So we immediately changed to meat science. And he went to Oklahoma City and went to work for Wilson's, and I went to Wichita and went to work for Kansas Beef. So we had a reality check in the middle.
That's what college is for.
Yeah.
So when did you start getting cattle?
Well, when I started rodeoing, I just buy them every now and then, and I just kept.
So is your cattle stock for rodeo, or is it for?
No, just commercial.
So you were living in Wichita whenever you did decide to try out the circuit. Did you stay? Were you still in Kansas, sort of based in Kansas, or did you come back to Oklahoma at that point?
I came back to Oklahoma, and basically we stayed in Texas and on the road. The first year we went to Florida, and we stayed in Florida all winter because you can go to rodeo every weekend in Florida. And then about May we come up and start back east and around here. Just we try to make at least 3 rodeos a week. You know, The more we get to, the more we can make. So.
Was your family? I think I understand your family was already doing the annual rodeo here in Okmulgee by the time you were out doing all that. So, did you make it back to Oklahoma much then?
Oh yeah.
In the circuit?
Yeah.
Did you compete a lot in the Okmulgee rodeo?
Yeah, I won it several times.
Did you?
Yeah. Calf roping and steer wrestling.
Did you ever compete against your brothers?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I bet that was interesting.
Was it interesting?
Yeah.
So did any of your other family members go pro or semi-pro or do amateur or anything, or is it just one thing?
Ken steer wrestled, yeah. And he made the finals a couple times.
Yeah.
But he's worked all the time, you know, he kept a steady job. He didn't go.
Tim didn't do much?
Tim, he went with us a little, but and had a lot of ability, and he won when he went, but he's one of those guys that can't stand losing. He can win every week, and if he loses one weekend, he's just miserable for a month. You know, it's just.
I believe that.
If he could handle losing and not winning everywhere, he'd have been all right, but he couldn't.
So did you feel like your personality was better suited for full-time rodeo?
Yeah. I just kind of Go with the flow. If it don't work, I'll do something different.
Very laid back.
Well, I'm trying to think before we move on if there's any other sort of OSU related, because I know that that's sort of, you know, the picture is becoming clear in my mind, sort of what the structure was at the time while you were there. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Did it, and your classes in general, you were doing mainly annual science because you came in in your third year. And I've only heard you mention one, so I also want to talk a little bit about like the if there was racial tension on campus at all, because you only mentioned 2 other Black people that you were in school. One was in animal science with you and one was on the rodeo. Did you have any problems on campus? Was
No.
there, because it's been the early 70s, so they were.
No
problems. The other thing that sort of was going on, and I don't know if it would have come down to you, but there was a lot going on with like free speech protests on campus. There was a lot going on with sort of students. You may have not seen any of it, but student protesting in general in that time period.
No, but I kept to myself.
You were out at Bud Bramwell's house.
All the time. All the time. I mean, if I wasn't in class, I was out there.
Well, and I think that's interesting because it sounds like a lot of guys you hung out with, that's where you were at, right?
Yeah.
Were you living off campus?
Yes.
Were you living kind of out of town?
No, I was in town. But,
Yeah. You didn't have to stay there then.
I never stayed on campus, and between work and out there in Buzz, that was it.
You just had your thing. Well, do you remember when you decided to go to OSU? Did you talk to Bud Brown because you had at least met him by that point before you came?
No, Alan Cooksey, my cousin, I talked to him.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons I went.
So your cousin was already there.
He was already there, yeah.
Had he been there a couple of years then?
Yeah.
Got it. So you knew to ask him and.
Right. In fact, when I first went out there, I was in an apartment with him.
With Alan?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I've been working with, I've been at OSU for almost 7 years now, and I work with a lot of the students. And one of the things I've noticed is like the Black students have a habit of like migrating to stay with each other because it is like 4%. Is that something that you saw then?
Yeah,
as well?
definitely. Yeah. I mean, you knew every Black student on campus. You know, at which you wouldn't have anybody.
Yeah. Was there a particular place that you guys would hang out at on campus, or?
No, well, the student union was a certain part of the student union.
Curious, what part of the student union was it?
No, I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I mean, it was one section of the student union where everybody would be.
Okay.
Whenever you were over there.
For years, in the student union, there's a place right in front of like one of the restaurants. It's called Red Earth, and all the Black students would migrate there, and they would call it Little Africa.
I'm not sure the student union is still the same though.
I think it's very.
That's
similar.
71.
I don't know. I know it's definitely added on. Was the Atherton there when you were? When did they?
Apple.
The Atherton. There's a hotel connected to the student union.
Yeah.
So it was there.
Yeah. Hotel.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's much bigger now. But
Yeah.
The food court probably would have looked, the layout at least, we would have had that same space.
Yeah, it's like
I couldn't see that being the same that long.
Yeah.
They probably haven't changed. It's probably the same.
But what I'm hearing you say is that it wasn't that there was one specific place, it was wherever a couple of people were at, that's where everybody was at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so whenever you left and you changed to meat processing, which is still something that's kind of seeing a renewal and interest right now, it seems like, actually.
Yeah.
did that make sense to your family? Did you check with, we keep asking about your dad. I don't know if that's true, but did you check with your dad before you changed your major? Or did you just say, guess what I did this week?
No, I just told you what I did. He understood right away with it because there was no one in my family that had an operation that I could run. So I'd have to go to someone else that probably has kids of their own or grandkids that could take over, so.
Yeah. Well, that leaves another question for me because the way that you tell it, I can totally imagine in my mind, like this classroom full of young students, young adults, basically being like, I'm just here so I can go take over, right?
Yeah.
But it also implies like a huge class difference in the ag school. Is that something you noticed too? Was there was there a sort of breakdown between people who came from wealthier families and then people who didn't?
I didn't notice. I was just in and out.
Yeah. I can pause this if you need me to. Well, you noticed it in that moment because the way you described it to me made it clear that you were like, oh, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I did. For sure.
Even if it wasn't thinking about it in the same words, but yeah. Well, I think that's interesting too, the way that the expectation for who goes to college and what you're going to do with it, right? It's sort of different for different people. So you left OSU after 4 rodeos and getting your knee banged up, but getting a taste for it out on your own, right?
Yeah.
And learning some new tricks from some of your classmates, it sounds like. And then went up to Kansas. And so, like, to a certain degree, it seems like a big leap from my perspective that you were like, pro rodeo, that sounds like something I could do. I mean, but at the time, it sounds like you were like, I'm just, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, right? Like, what's it? There's no harm done if I try this.
I was on leave of absence.
So, what was appealing to you about that? Because it's full time. You're traveling all the time. Like, it's a completely different lifestyle, I think, than where you're at. Like, what do you thought?
Well, I like traveling and going new places all the time,
Mm-hmm.
I like competing against, I didn't care where it was, I wanted to go see if I could beat them,
Do you miss it?
Not anymore. I did for a long time.
For
a long time I always felt like I was supposed to be somewhere every day, It was kind of weird. You get up and you're not getting ready to go somewhere this weekend, but I get over it.
How hard is that when you're married to be leaving constantly?
It's rough, but it's, Michelle, she's real understanding.
Did she go with you a lot?
No.
How did you all meet, you and Michelle? Because you were out on the road a lot.
Right. Well, my uncle lived in McAllister. He was a podiatrist there, and Michelle was a nurse at the hospital, and he knew her, and he introduced us. And I think we were married a month.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. How long have you been married?
45 years.
Yeah. So that wasn't too long after you went out on your own to do this, right?
Right. Well, I went out when I was 25, maybe 5 years. But I've been around enough to know what I wanted and what I didn't want.
So, did you all move back here to Okmulgee?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And she went to work at the hospital here.
The Okmulgee Hospital, yeah. So what were some of the things that you remember from going out on the circuit that were surprising or exciting to you when you first got started? Because was there something that you were doing that you thought, man, I want to keep doing this?
Well, it was just such a challenge to keep learning and keep, all the little techniques and different things to improve, and it seemed like every day you learn something different, traveling or whatever, better ways to do it. And it was just a constant evolving. I just enjoyed the challenge.
So you weren't getting bored. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite place that you went? Was there a favorite place you wanted to go every year back to?
No, not really. There's so many of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've got a couple more specific questions about when you were talking about the rodeos. They sound like more like exposition rodeos that Bub Bramwell put together, and there's probably more like that than those two instances. But was that really just because you said like New Jersey, there weren't any black cowboys, what you're saying. So who was the audience for that? Was it mainly a black audience in New Jersey?
Yeah.
Okay. So how did it, whenever you went out to do these sort of exposition rodeos where it seems like it's not a Western show, but it's sort of the same thing in my mind where it's like everybody's packing up from here and going there and you're showing what a rodeo looks like.
Right.
So it's for everybody else than it is for you all just as a competition. It's more of a show, or maybe as much as a show. So how did that feel, the performance angle of all of this, how did that feel for you? Like, were you good getting out there and being in front of a bunch of people, or?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was.
When did you start being out in front of people doing this stuff? Were you younger? Was it before did you do any of that with your family, or was it?
Well, of course, competing, just the Okmulgee Rodeo was the biggest thing that I went to.
Before you went to OSU?
Did you compete at the bowling rodeo ever?
Yes.
Yeah. So you were doing some. Yeah. I was just thinking about that because if you grow up in it, I'm sure it feels different than if you're a 25-year-old and you think I'm gonna go out in front of 100 people watching me do this thing, right? I'm gonna guess. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd already got through that as a kid, though, competing.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time you went out to compete?
Yeah.
How old were you?
12.
Oh, wow.
Well, tell me about what you remember about it.
Well, I entered in the calf roping and I caught my calf, but I wasn't stout enough to get him on the ground very good. I didn't win anything, but I was really nervous there, but
You got out there and did it?
Yeah.
So you've been practicing a long time?
I've been, but on smaller calves, but this particular place we went, the calves were a lot bigger.
Yeah. So who decided you were going to do it that day? Was it you or was it your
My
dad?
Yeah, he had to pay my entry fees.
Did he teach you how to calf rope?
Yeah.
When did you start with that?
Probably 10 or 11, just started roping,
Yeah.
Did his dad calf rope also?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did both sides, the LeDoux and the LeBlanc, were they
Yeah,
both
see,
rodeo people?
Paul LeDoux, he roped calves. He roped calves really good. In fact, he paid his way through college, medical school, roping calves.
Wow.
He'd come home and he'd won enough in the summer between the black rodeos around here that he paid most of his tuition in college. Yeah. But he was good. He was really good.
I know you have other questions that are specific to things you know about family and things. You're welcome to ask whatever makes sense for you to ask.
I was reading Cartwright's book about the chapter on all of y'all, and and talked about your accident, which Michelle was just talking about earlier, where your leg was. Can you tell us about when that happened?
Well, I was traveling with Tom Walker, he's from Moore, and it was Tom Walker. It was 4 or 5 of us, and we were coming from a rodeo in Florida, and we were coming through Jackson, Mississippi, and I was driving. It was 3 lanes, and we were in the center lane, and there was a lady in the right-hand lane. She had a blowout, and when she had a blowout, she swerved across in front of us and just kind of clipped a bumper, and she pulled off to the side of the road. Well, I pulled off to the side of the road by her. And when I got out the truck and went between the truck and the car, another car ran off the road, hit the trailer in the rear and pushed it between it. And the car was lower, so I heard when it crashed, I heard it and I turned, and when I turned, I could see the truck coming in, and I put my hand on the hood of the truck, and I put this hand on the car, and I didn't get this leg up high enough. It crushed it between the 2 bumpers. And anyway, went to the hospital in Jackson, Mississippi. I remember waking up because they put me out. I remember waking up and all my friends, they sit around. Tom had tears in his eyes. He was about to cry, and I thought, well, they had me full of morphine, so I felt good. And I woke up really like, and they were all Sunday pickers. They were all upset, and I didn't know what was wrong with them, you know. And I didn't find out till the next day that the doctor thought he might have to amputate my leg, you know. And that's what they were upset about. But they put, I can't think of the name of the contraption they put on it to stretch the muscles out so it wouldn't pull the bone together.
Did they put pins in your leg?
Yeah, I had 6 pins in it. But, I was in the hospital for a month, and then I put it on.
And then how long after that were you competing?
Well, that happened in May, and I'd already won enough money to make it to the finals. And the finals was in January. And I went to the doctor up there at Tulsa to get my cast off like a week before the finals. I was supposed to get my cast off. And when I went up there, they x-rayed it and had a little hairline crack, but he wouldn't take it off. And I told him, I said, man, you might as well take it off because you got the equipment. I said, I'm gonna take it off when I get home. Because the finals was in like, I think it was like 2 weeks for the finals. And I said, I need it off for then. And he said, well, I'm gonna take it off, but I'm not gonna release you. So he took it off, and I ran upstairs at the finals. In fact, I won a place on the first year that I run up there. And, but the rest of the week, they kind of packed me off. My leg was too weak.
But you made it.
Yeah.
That is.
But see, they had it in a walking cast, and I could ride a bicycle and stuff. I'd ride up the Beggs exit on 75 and turn around and ride back.
And that's when you were living over next to Grandpa's house.
Yeah.
So you kept your muscles strong. Then.
Yeah, they were strong, but their leg, when they took their cast off, I got sick.
Did you, when you started steer wrestling, did you do like Bill Pickett? Did you fight the
No,
lift of the steer?
Nobody did.
Nobody did that.
No.
It would have been pretty awesome. How did Grandma feel about all of that with you competing and
She worried a lot.
a lot?
Me being on the road all the time. She accepted it. She'd rather see me go to work every day somewhere.
Did she tell you that?
Not in so many words, but she'd always get around when you gonna quit or whatever, you know.
So what was When you did decide to retire from it, like how'd you decide that?
Oh, that was easy. I wasn't getting along as good as I thought I should, you know. And I've watched these guys for years, you know, keep going after they should have quit and just wrecking their bodies, you know, and getting embarrassed. And, you know, I can dish it out, but I can't take it. As long as I'm winning, I'm going. If I can't win, I ain't playing.
Mm-hmm. Was it hard when you retired to be?
Well, I still had a good team of horses, and I had guys riding my horses, and I kept going, hauling my horses and mounting guys, because when I mount them, I get 25% of what they win. So I load up 5, 6 guys and get them to as many rodeos as I could, you know. And
Did you haze a lot afterwards?
Yeah, huh? Yeah.
Did you haze a lot?
Yeah. Let's see, the first time I made the finals was in '76, and the last time I went up there to haze for guys was in 2006. So that's 40 years.
Yeah.
You thought about hazing again?
No, now I got so much cows and stuff. I got so much around here that I do that I don't want to be on the road. I don't want to be gone. I enjoy being around here with the grandkids and stuff. So I've been there, done that.
Tell me about the family rodeo. It's still going on?
Oh yeah, it's as big as ever.
70 years this year, isn't it?
I think so.
Can we talk a little bit about, you did talk about it getting started, but it didn't talk much about how it got started. So it sounds like there wasn't a lot of organized rodeo around before that one. So that got started by your
Grandfather and my dad.
Yeah. So do you know why they decided to do that? It seems like a big decision to me.
Well, why they just started to have the rodeo?
Mm-hmm.
Well, just a place for, they wasn't really welcome at the other rodeos. And
yeah.
So they just decided to do one of their own.
Yeah. Was that one of those things that it was like clear segregation at the rodeo? So they're like, here's the line, and like there's no dividing. Could you still go to rodeos, to white rodeos? Which they're not called that.
You could, but you probably wouldn't win nothing because they wouldn't let you win nothing.
Okay.
I mean, there was an incident where my dad went to one and they took his fees and he went first and they wouldn't pay him when it was over. They offered to give him his money back and he wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
But, and things like that, so.
Yeah. So it wasn't like you can't be here at all. It was you might as well not be here because we're not going to let you win.
Yeah.
So are those the sorts of stories that you grew up under, like hearing from your dad and your grandpa?
Right.
Yeah. So was it quickly popular when they're like, we're just going to do our own?
Yeah.
There were a lot of people looking for that same opportunity.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main ones around here were like bowling, drum ride, Clearview.
I don't know, Bowley still has a rodeo every year.
Bowley still.
Yeah. Well, did people come from all over the country to that one?
Well, no, at that time, usually most of them were from right around here in Texas.
I was wondering how far the reach was, so even down in Texas.
Right around here in Texas.
Yeah.
There were a lot of black cowboys in Texas that came up here.
I'm okay. Yeah, so there were a lot of black cowboys in Texas that came up. Did you all go down there?
Very little.
Yeah. Well, over the last 70 years of having that annual rodeo that your family puts on, um, I mean, are there things that you want people to know about that? About has it always gone smoothly? Has there been bumps along the way? It's still going on now?
It's always gone smoothly, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we had to change facilities because the other place wasn't big enough,
Yeah.
It started out, they had the club bought 40 acres and built the arena. They got so the parking lot wasn't big enough, and the seats wouldn't hold enough people.
Yeah.
So now we have it at the Indian complex out here.
Oh, at the Muskogee Nation.
Yeah, and they built it up this year, so.
Wow. Yeah. Well, you think it's just gonna always, there's not running out of steam then, is what you're saying?
No,
You'll
it's
just
not
keep
running out
going?
of steam. It's, in fact, I think the internet and everything has made people more aware of it, and it's so many people from out of town here now.
Yeah.
It just, everybody's got it on their list of things they wanna do.
Yeah.
So who do you think will take it over once y'all retire?
I don't know. Probably one of Ken's kids, I imagine. Kenny or somebody, I don't know. I have nothing to do with it.
There's a lot to pick from.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's pretty much all my questions, but I don't know if Charmaine's got some more questions.
I think I'm good. I already know.
Well, just because you know doesn't mean
You know,
you
Trying
can
to,
have
yeah. Trying to. I can't think of any anymore. I mean, we've asked pretty much. Why do you think your boys didn't? I know, like Jamie, wasn't he into team roping at one time?
He was still wrestling at
Or
one
he
time.
was still wrestling?
And he was doing good, but
Just not his thing.
like different directions.
Yeah. What about Teresa? Do you think she'll?
Now she did more than the boys did, running girls and everything, and
Is she back into it now?
she started breakaway roping.
With Brandon?
Yeah. And Ivy started rope a little bit.
A few years ago when we were out here, Ivy was on the thing you built him, and he told me that he wanted to be a steer wrestler like his grandpa. And I said, well, you keep practicing and you'll be as good as he is. And he's like, that's going to be hard to live up to. I sure hope I can. It was the cutest thing. So you're definitely his hero.
So your kids and your grandkids grew up at least knowing how to do, or
Yeah.
are growing up with the grandkids, with
Yeah.
the kids, at least knowing if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Do you have any other people in your family that went pro like you?
Family.
Just you?
And the extended? What about the extended
Me and
family?
Ken,
What about the extended family? Alan didn't?
Mm, okay. Yeah.
no, I don't ever do that. So.
I mean, it's cool. Yeah.
It is cool.
It's I mean, how many? You had three world championships.
Well,
is that right?
Two world champions, one a national championship.
One national.
I went to a lot of other small associations, like they got a lot of them, like the ACRA and the URA. I won it. I can't remember how many times, but I won ACRA. I know 3 times. And
Yeah.
URA and all that once.
How many cowboys do you think you've mentored?
Oh, I don't know, a lot.
A lot.
I had several that traveled with me that made Rookie of the Year too.
Oh, wow.
Ted Clemens, John Davis, and Jim White, 3 of them.
Yeah. Do you still take on people who want to learn more about it from you?
Well, we practice. David Rager Jr.
Mm-hmm.
He was in our RA finals this past weekend up there at Guthrie. He practices out here. And it's always 4 or 5 guys out here every week practicing.
Oh, really? On the weekends or?
Usually on Wednesdays.
Okay. Wednesday.
Never the weekend. And they got rodeos on the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Usually on Wednesday they'll come out and practice.
Do you still have a jackpot out here during the rodeo?
Yeah.
So, what made you start having the jackpot out here?
We started, all those guys would come up from Texas and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then on Saturday during the day they didn't have anything to do. And they come out to the house one time when I lived over there, and they was, I always had steers around the practice zone, so they decided they wanted to have a jackpot. First year it was probably 15 guys, and we'd have a jackpot. And I went. Second year we did it. We probably had 25 or 30. Now we get 60.
Wow. That's almost a full rodeo.
You know, and I started something. I got a big billboard down here. I don't know if you notice. You just look down here when you're going out. And every year I put the name of the guy that wins it and what state he's from.
Oh, that's cool.
And I started in 2000 putting that board up, and all the guys on that board, most of them are from Oklahoma, and all those guys come up from Texas, and it's just a big deal who's gonna get it this year. Someone from Texas or Oklahoma. And see, it started in I think from 2000, so I started putting the names up down there, and everybody tells wanting that name on that board, you know. And last year, a guy from Arkansas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, he edged everyone out.
Right.
He's the only one up there from Arkansas. But
Is it when you for the jackpot? Is it just steer wrestling or?
just your wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody runs 2 steers, and the one that has the best time on both steers, the average, gets his name on the board.
Was it like that too when it was out at Grandma's arena? The arena out there? Didn't you see your jackpot out there?
That's where I started.
Okay.
Yeah, out there.
And it was still just steer wrestling?
The first 2 years I won it, and one of the guys from Texas complained, we can't beat you on your steers. I said, well, I'll come to your house and play with you. But anyway, so I didn't put my name on the board. I didn't start till the next year, and I hadn't entered it since. I wouldn't enter anymore after that. You know.
They were just scared. They were scared to compete against you.
I would be too.
Right.
But
Oh. I think that's
I
it.
think that's it.
Yeah, it's been helpful. Thanks.
I hope so. I don't see how it was.
I know it doesn't feel like it. I can understand why I didn't feel like it, but it is because it's literally just piecing together how different people, were part of that, and then how that fed into what I think is great too, is that even though you grew up in this, that's where you sort of thought, maybe I can do this, right? Like that was a sort of inkling from what I hear, which is really interesting. That's where you found a group of people that were, doing it together. So, do you remember any other names from people you were on the rodeo club with, other than your cousin?
Yeah. Bud, Cleo, and
But they weren't on the team with him. They were
before him.
Before him, yeah.
Yeah.
And I have Alan's information.
There was one other guy, and I don't remember him. Alan mentioned him the other day when I talked to Alan.
Okay.
We'll ask.
He can.
Yeah,
he
we follow
can
up. Yeah, that's all right. All right. Well, I appreciate you letting us down here. That was great. All right.
You did, Alan.
I learned a lot.